Good afternoon. I'm not sure exactly what I did wrong here. It's never been my exact expertise in doing articulation, and this is showing to be another example of that deficiency in my mental process. I'll show you what I mean, but first of all, let me show you my envisioning of this grapple attachment was that it would be wide open. You know, the tooth that this is emulating would be coming straight up and yet close all the way down. I've tried several different geometries, stepping this axis off of this axis, as that's what I guess would be what determines the ratio from throw of the cylinder to rotation of the workpiece. So all of this is just tacked up. I'm hoping that there's something salvageable from it, but it looks like to get what I wanted, I'm going to have to do some kind of linkage system that multiplies distance. Let me show you what it does right now. And the biggest issue is it doesn't open wide enough for my taste. So I played around with it a lot, and you know what I end up with is problems where it's either binding on this pivot, or you know, if I make it so that it hoops up and around, it puts the distance too far where I'm not getting enough throw. But as you can see, that's where you would want it for full closure. Okay, so that you could also use the grapple for pulling small shrubs or something, right? And the idea was that my tooth for the grapple would be able to telescope left or right. So if I was pulling a shrub and could only get my bucket onto one side, I could slide that tooth down, or I could take and undo a bolt and slide. Now this is all just tack welded. And I could undo a bolt, slide the tooth off, and put a different implement onto it, right? But now things are more complex because the core purpose of the grapple was for loading up brush. And it looks like to do that, I'm going to have to do some kind of teeter-totter or something so that a small distance here makes a big distance on the rotation. But then when you do, you also got to factor in binding. You know what I mean? It can't just be... If anybody has any advice, let me know, because I'm struggling with it. And I've had lots of problems on other stuff when it comes to that. Like even doing the double wishbone suspension and stuff, like on the remote control mower, which hasn't been fooled with for a while. I wanted to get to a better circumstance where I had the front pinion would stay horizontal but be able to articulate up and down, so I can get full float height adjustment. So, but this engine's down on this. The battery pack needs fixed in. You know, I got to go through it before I'd use it anyway, and it's really just kind of a side problem. But it illustrated to me when I was trying to build this beyond a rudimentary form, which I ran for years, mostly for leaf collection because it does bag very well, was that the findings that I have some kind of an inability, at least at this point, to, in my head, come up with geometrical articulations that do what I want it to do. So I'll just keep struggling with it. Hopefully you guys can give me some advice. Have a good day.